One day, Phil listed down all the places he wanted to visit in his vacation. The next month, Phil reached the airport and took off. While he was in the air over the Sahara desert, he saw a massive circular structure. He quickly took his phone and googled it. He then knew it was the Eye of the Sahara. Also known as the Richet structure, it looks like a big wide eye, hence the name Eye of the Sahara. With a diameter of 40 km, the eroded dome-like structure was first interpreted as an asteroid impact. After several studies, it was concluded by geologists to be a highly symmetrical and deeply eroded geological dome. This gigantic structure can also be seen from Google Earth. After seeing the structure, he landed safely. It was already night, and then suddenly Phil saw a moonbow. A moonbow, sometimes known as a lunar rainbow, is an optical phenomenon caused when the light from the moon is refracted through water droplets in the air. The amount of light available even from the brightest full moon is far less than that produced by the sun, so moonbows are incredibly faint and very rarely seen. After the eye-catching sight, Phil sat on a bench and was scrolling through Instagram when he saw Lake Abraham, Canada. Lake Abraham in Alberta, Canada treats visitors to a spectacular winter phenomenon with stacks of pearl-like bubbles trapped between layers of ice. Like many other lakes in the world, Abraham Lake emits methane gas year-round. However, in winter, the biological process can result in this stunning visual phenomenon. Phil visited the bubbly lake, booked a cab, and was off to the airport. Suddenly, he came face to face with a fire tornado. They form when very intense heat from a fire rises and surrounding air rushes in to replace it. This creates a spinning column of air. That's when you get a fire whirl or a fire tornado to form. The temperatures were so hot in this fire that it created its own weather system. Phil escaped from the disastrous tornado and reached the airport. Next on his list was Puerto Rico. Phil landed and got a call from his friend George. George called him to an island where he was there. It was the Mosquito Bay or the Bioluminescent Bay. Mosquito Bay, better known as Bioluminescent Bay, is a tranquil, warm, shallow bay on the southern shore of the Puerto Rico island of Vieques. The bay is world famous for its extreme bioluminescence, declared as the brightest in the world. Phil rested for the night in a nearby resort. In the morning, when he woke up, he saw a strange cloud on top of a mountain. It was the Lenticular Clouds. A lenticular cloud is a lens-shaped cloud that normally develops on the downside side of a mountain or mountain range. This occurs when stable, moist air flows over a mountain, creating a series of oscillating waves. These clouds indicate great instability in that layer of the atmosphere. After seeing the mysterious clouds, he went to his friend George's house. The sun was setting and Phil was leaving when a flash struck his eyes. It was the green flash. The rarest type of green flash is known as a green ray. In this instance, a beam of green light shoots straight up a few degrees from the green flash. Immediately after the sun sets, for about a second, it's caused by the combination of hazy air and an unusual bright inferior, mock or subduct green flash. You can see this by standing on a high surface like a skyscraper. The green flash didn't last long, so Phil went to his resort and slept. The next morning, he again saw strange clouds now on top of his head. It was the Mammatus Clouds. What are Mammatus Clouds? Mammatus Clouds are some of the most unusual and distinctive cloud formation with a series of bulges or pouches emerging from the base of a cloud. The shape of Mammatus formations can vary widely from the classic productant shape to a more elongated tube hanging from the cloud above. The Mammatus Clouds disappeared in thick air. Next, George called him again, this time for a hike in the forest. George and Phil were in the forest when Phil's eyes caught a fire surrounded by water. It was the Eternal Flame Falls. Natural eternal flames occur when gas seeps through the soil and bacteria eats the methane, converting it into carbon dioxide. As the eternal flame falls, the gas is contained and is not converted, leading to an internal flame. As you near the fall, a pungent smell fills the air, a result of the natural gas leaks. They finished the hike and then Phil went to the airport and boarded the flight. He was flying above a desert on the borders of California and Nevada. That time, from the sky, he saw some stones which had walked a distance. These are the sailing stones. The sailing stones or sliding stones of racetrack playa have been observed and studied since the early 1900s. On sunny days, melting caused the ice to break into large floating panels that, driven by light winds, pushed against the rocks to move them, leaving tracks on the desert floor. Phil enjoyed his trip. He had planned to go only to Maldives, but on the way and in Maldives he was lucky enough to see some more. And most importantly, Phil took pictures of all the sightings and posted it on internet, and it got viral. If you learned something new today, hit that like button, share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel.